ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands, keep your chins up. It's the one and only Ghost with the shadow in the front, and it is midnight, and we are going to get a quick stream in because I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I hope everyone's having a great week, or I don't know, most of y'all sleeping, but this is going to be uploaded so people can see for the next morning, for those that don't see it. Man, it's just, let me first start by saying, man, I love boxing, bro. I really do. I really do love boxing. And it's just, it's kind of sad to me. It's really kind of sad to me when I see people that, you know, whether you like a fighter or not, bro, I really don't like it when a person just can't keep it real. Like, I mean, even if you were paying me, now let's say you paid me, right? Let's say you paid me to, well, I can't even imagine you paying me for like one of these dudes, but I'm saying, like, if you did, let's say I was on your team or I was your friend or whatever, right? I can't imagine like lying to somebody. Oh, you had a great performance. Yeah, like I would tell you the truth. I would say, look, man, I know you could do better than that. I know you could do better than that. Like, I wouldn't like lie. And it's crazy because even when I think stuff amazes me, it doesn't amaze me anymore. None of this amazes me anymore. It really doesn't. I don't understand how a person can actually sit there and criticize Teofimo Lopez, but say nothing about Devin. Oh, Devin was adjusting. Devin had a year off. That's the excuse, right? Devin had a year off. Okay. He had a year off. Fine. It's a 12-round fight. At some point during the fight, you warm up. He's not the first fighter to take a year off. Ryan Garcia took a year off. Look how bad it turned out for both of them. Both of them had a horrible performance, bro. Both of them. But it's crazy because I knew when Ryan lost, I was like, they're gonna deflect away from what Devin Haney did. Because what Devin Haney did was embarrassing, bro. Ryan was embarrassing too, don't get me wrong. But what Devin Haney did was embarrassing not only to his fans, but to boxing. And it's crazy how they just deflected. They deflected. Excuses in the book. I don't agree with Tim Bradley much. I don't. I think sometimes, you know, he says things out of his feelings, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just a lot of the times when Tim Bradley says something, I'm on the opposite side of his opinion. A lot of times, especially when it came to Terrence Bud Crawford and, you know, Canelo, stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with what he was saying. I just was on the other side of what he was, you know, that's Crawford's man, or he's friends with Crawford. He really criticizes Canelo to like a really, sometimes I feel like it's a little unfair criticism. So, but other than that, the man has, and I can't stand his commentary. His commentary is horrible. I'd rather watch the fight and mute than to listen to Tim Bradley call a fight, because he'd be making these weird noises. But anyway, that's not the point. Who's this? Bro, this is the crazy thing about it, bro. This is the crazy thing about it, man. I'm glad you're here, bro, so you can see what I'm saying, right? You can see exactly what I'm saying. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy because before this weekend, all I heard was that Teofimo Lopez had the hardest fight. Didn't you hear that? You heard Teofimo Lopez had the hardest fight. He's the one that might lose. Oh, he's the one. Oh, Teo's gonna lose. Oh, Barboza's gonna outbox Teo. Like Teo was the one. Like, if you were to ask everybody, including myself, if you asked a lot of people going into the weekend, who do you think is gonna lose? Because we all thought there was gonna be an upset, right? A lot of people were talking about it. Everybody was like, "Come on, man, it's boxing. There's gonna be an upset. One of the favorites are gonna lose, right? Especially if we look at how boxing has been. I mean, there's always an upset, but you just had a feeling there was going to be an upset on this New York card, because it was new, right? It ain't never happened before. They were fighting in Times Square, right? I mean, when was the last time? I don't think that's ever been done before. They literally had the Turk had like paid off like all these permits and had the blocks blocked off. And bro, it's crazy because it should have been a fire card. It should have been a real exciting card, but the fact that the card was that lackluster, that'll never happen again. Imagine how much money the man spent. I mean, first off, man, there's a lot of things I want to talk about today, and but the thing is I gotta talk about so many things. I think I'm gonna make it a series this week. I really do. I really think I'm gonna make it a series this week because it's hard to keep quiet, man. It's kind of hard to keep quiet because there's nothing wrong with your opinion, bro. I get it, man. I get it. Trust me, I do. You don't want to especially if you know the person, right? I get it, bro. You don't want to say something. But do people understand or not understand that sometimes when you don't say something to somebody or you don't keep it real, you're making it worse? Do people know that? You know what I mean? And I'm not even gonna try to make it seem like is that extreme, but that's the truth. When you don't keep it real with people, not first off, when you don't keep it real, right? A lot of times, and when I say keep it real, I mean like, come on, man. You know as a boxing fan, if a fighter did what he was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Everybody has a bad night at the office. Everybody has different styles. Everybody that's here nor there. I'm not talking about whether you like a defensive style or you like a counter punching style or you like a pressure style. We already know, like everyone's got their own textbook. I know people that don't like defensive fighters at all. They hate them. They can't stand them. They don't like defensive fighters. I don't got no problem with defensive fighters. I think as a boxing fan, it's harder for a person to not get hit, and hit somebody than it is to stand there and just take shots. You know what I mean? However, a lot of these dudes are forgetting the hitting back part. They're real good at evading. They're real good at defensive. They're real good at all that, but they're forgetting to throw punches. The criteria of scoring a round in boxing is offense. We've been through this 1,000 times, especially here on this little ass channel. We've been through this 1,000 times. Like it's been such a concern, right? That we've literally had lives where we brought up the rules of how to score a round because like there was times where we saw a fight and everyone saw it one way and everybody saw it the other way to the point where we literally pulled up what was like the Hall of Famer referee that worked at PBC. And he wrote an article and in the article he breaks down not his way of scoring, the way you're supposed to score. He breaks down all the, all the different subjects and ring IQ and pressure and everything, right? And he even broke down like what do you do if it's a close round? Like how do you decide that, right? And there's things you got to factor in. You factor in who landed the cleaner shots? Did a person seem visibly hurt? If there's not a lot of action in the round, right? Then if neither of them did hardly anything, right? Then you got to move down the list. Okay, fine. Both of them threw 8 punches, right? Both of them landed 4. It was a horrible round. So now we got to, okay, so they both threw 8. They both landed 4. So what's next? Whose 4 punches landed, I don't know, cleaner, right? And you go down the line because you got to pick, or you can make it out. I don't know. They do like the 9-9 rounds. But the whole point is we've actually been on this channel where we've actually looked at judges on how you're supposed to score a fight. So I'm not talking about that per se, because I get it. People might not like a defensive fighter. I don't got no problem with a defensive fighter. But at the end of the day, when you score a round, right? When you score a round, if you throw 10 punches and I dodge all 10. Now, how about this? If you throw 10 punches and I block all 10 punches, and then I throw 10 punches and you dodge my 10 punches, but you look good doing it. I mean, you could do a somersault. You could float in the air. Neither of us scored. Neither of us scored. Yours looked pretty. You dodged my punches. I blocked yours. None of us landed offense. You only win by mounting in offense, throwing punches. Throwing punches. I don't know why some of these guys are making it seem like when some of these guys are in the ring and they're hardly throwing any punches, they are evading. That's what they're doing. But these guys are going to tell you, oh, it's the art of boxing. It's a master class. When you know that you have to mount an offense to win a round, bro. You have to. And I look at the card on May 2nd, and I was really excited for it, bro. I really was. I really was, man, because I was hoping that it was going to be something exciting so that maybe they could do it again, right? Because think about it. It was kind of cool, right? Wasn't it cool? Wasn't it cool how these dudes rolled up? I never seen nothing like that. The dudes rolled up. They didn't walk into the ring. Each one of them had like a vehicle. Teofimo Lopez came in a taxi, an NYC taxi. And then like everybody else came in Rolly Romero came in some, flashy car. I forgot what it was, but it was cool, bro. I liked it. I liked the atmosphere. I like how it was set up. Right. And I was hoping for a great card, but that's not what we got. We got a lackluster card. With that being said, I find it crazy that the moment Ryan Garcia lost, I knew they were going to take all the attention off of Devin Haney's embarrassing ass performance, bro. Embarrassing, scary ass PTSD having. Ryan don't mess this man up, bro. And I was going for Devin. And let's start with the narratives right here. This is the narrative I'm seeing on YouTube. Man, none of you guys was going to give credit to Devin Haney anyway. Shit, all of y'all wanted to do was see him lose. No. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. A lot of people wanted Devin to win. I said for weeks, I hope he knocks out Ramirez because I wanted to see the rematch. So all these people saying, oh, y'all just want to see Devin lose. No. You telling yourself that. You're telling yourself that. A lot of us wanted to see the rematch. A lot of us wanted to see Ryan win and Devin win so they can get that rematch. So they could put an end to this whole controversy. Not only that, but it was a good fight. Was it not? The first fight was a good fight, was it not? This kid, I'm going to call him a kid because people are treating him like a kid. What's my take on Skull and Canelo? I'm going to get to that too. That's another one. Skull and Canelo, that's another one. I'm going to get to him in a second. Yeah, these dudes aren't embarrassed. Bro, listen, I'm not taking nothing off of I'm going to get to Canelo too because Canelo, I noticed some things about Canelo too as well. But I want to make it clear, bro. I'm going to start hammering down on some of these dudes that this is lying. There's a difference between being defensive and showing up and just getting a check. These dudes are just showing up and getting a check. They're running. These guys are running. That's what they're doing. What I don't understand is this. Even if you're a defensive fighter, you know that you're supposed to mount some sort of offense in order to win a fight, right? Explain to me how Devin Haney somehow magically was able to make himself more lackluster than he was prior to the loss. And Devin and Ryan too. Ryan had a horrible performance and he paid for it. But what was the difference though? What was the difference? Ryan got clipped. Like, like he had a reason to be fearful. Rolly hit hard. Rolly hit real hard. That'll wake you up. That'll make you like think, like, hey, if I come forward, he might clip me again, right? I get it. What is Devin's excuse? Oh, I got hit with something last year. It was just it was embarrassing. And it's not just embarrassing for his fans, it's embarrassing for boxing. Look, I love boxing, bro. Y'all, people might not like me. I might not like somebody else's takes, and people might talk shit about me or talk shit about this channel, or they might not like this channel because this guy's they think he's a super Canelo fan or a super Crawford fan, regardless of whatever it may be, right? All of us love boxing, so it's embarrassing as fuck when you got UFC dudes laughing at the May 2nd card. People like, this is why we watch UFC. This is why we watch UFC. And then on top of that, it made it worse when you saw Skull do what he did. And Canelo, he's declining a little bit. I mean, I gotta be honest, bro. Like it's either he didn't want to cut off the ring much, or he was just more frustrated. But I saw a frustrated Canelo. But at the end of the day, that's another thing. They're getting more Canelo than the man that literally did not want to fight. I don't understand. He didn't want to fight. He wanted a check, bro. Pick up his check, go home. That's what these guys wanted. Yeah, Canelo should cut the ring off. Yeah, he should. But Canelo's there to fight, bro. Yeah, Jose Ramirez could have threw a lot more punches. You damn right he should have. I was looking. But here goes the thing with Jose Ramirez. Let's make it clear. They knew very well what they were doing when they gave Devin Haney Jose Ramirez. They knew very well what they were doing. They gave him a former champion who is flat-footed, who only throws punches once he's in front of you, and he has to set. He has to be set. He's one of those type of pressure fighters where he has to be set. And every time he got in front of Devin left. And that's fine. But he left a lot of times without throwing anything back. Listen, you could be defensive all you want. Some of my favorite fighters were defensive. Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker, defensive as hell. But he made it look good, and he made sure he hit you. It's hit and not get hit. Not get hit and not get hit and not get hit. And the fact that you have people that are like, yo, man, y'all just hating on Devin, man. Y'all just hating on. No. A lot of people wanted Devin to win, bro. Me included. I don't know how many times I had said leading up to that fight, I hope he knocked Ramirez out. I said it the night before. I said Devin looked good. He didn't look weight drained, right? He didn't look like a skeleton like he usually do with the whole sunken face with the cheekbones and everything. I was like, damn, Devin looked good, bro. Like, I'm wishing him the best. I hope he knocks out Ramirez. So all this shit you're hearing on other channels, like, these guys just hate Devin. They're just, what did you think they were going to say? No. What did you think we were going to say? When the man goes in there, he looks scared. Right, you know what I mean? I get it, bro. I get it. That's part of the promotion. But if you think other people, there's been some people have been saying it lightly, and some people have been saying it how it is. Because it's kind of crazy, because even though I joke around with the whole PTSD thing, I joke around. But if anybody could, before somebody says, oh, don't joke around with, before, like, you got to understand, like, I'm a veteran, I'm making light of it, but that it's real. PTSD is real, and you don't have to be in the military to get it. You don't have to be in the military. If you went through anything in your life that's tragic, you could be a survivor of a car crash. You could be an abusive spouse or whatever, or a victim of something, right? Or not eating growing up or whatever. There's a lot of things that can give you PTSD. So, so I'm not making fun of it, but the truth of the matter is Devin might have some PTSD, bro. He might, because the man fought scared. And I get it. You have some Devin Haney channels that are supposed to say what they're going to say, but it's kind of crazy because they went at Teofimo Lopez for his performance. They switched it all around. Barboza was overrated. Now Barboza's overrated. Now he's overrated, right? The man you said Tio was running from for like 2 years is now overrated. Of course he is, right? Of course he is. Let Devin have put on Tio's performance and Tio had put on Devin's performance. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the internet? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Tio fought like Devin and Devin fought like Tio, bro? People would have harder than pitchforks, bro. Pitchforks. But I mean, how long y'all gonna baby Devin, bro? I don't agree with Tim Bradley much, but I agree with this statement right here.
Haney put on the Ryan put on the as well, but Haney was supposed to be going back to the drawing board, getting better. Did you think he got better? Absolutely not.
Mosley to the team, all that stuff.
Just because you add a Hall of Famer to your team don't make it's gonna make you better. I promise you that. Devin, yesterday, I felt like he didn't want to fight either with Ryan Garcia. The way he was fighting, how scared he was. PTSD is a real thing in fighting, in boxing. It's a real thing. And I felt that's what I saw with Devin, watching him run around the ring. Man, I was like, damn, I was like, did this dude, did he train with Usain Bolt? Who the hell he trained with? I said, he running around this ring like he crazy. I'm like, yo, settle your feet down, bro, and grow some balls, man. Grow some balls and stand there and jab and make sure to back this guy up off of you. But nah, man, like, look, I take so much, bro. I was so angry after watching that, bro. I wasted my time watching that last night.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. A lot of people were disappointed in the whole card overall, right? Ryan Garcia included. Notice how I'm not leaving out Ryan Garcia. Right? Even my guy Tio, who I think had the best first off, Tio, regardless of what anybody say, when Tio was on his A game, ain't many people that's beating that man, bro. Ain't not many people beating that man. He's athletic. He's got respectable power. That man had Barboza confused, bro. Confused. He didn't know when to throw a punch. He didn't know what to do. Tio was jabbing him upstairs to the body. Tio was jumping in and out. It wasn't the most exciting fight, even as a Tio fan. I'll say that. But you know why I feel like that was the best performance he could have put on? Because leading up for the past 2 years, I heard from multiple, I would say maybe 2-3 channels, right? That Barboza was an underrated boxer, right? And that he would outbox Tio, and even I said, you know, some type of fighters, like there's certain fighters I feel like might give Tio problems. A patient fighter, right? Like a textbook, throwing the jab a lot, sticking to your game plan, not just going in there, just throwing punches out of, And I alluded to like Jermaine Ortiz or Sandor Martin, right? And people were kind of trying to say like that's the type of fight Barboza was going to give him. And you saw what happened. That man didn't win one round, bro. The round that people give him is the round where he hit Tio. He caught Tio, right? And I think he caught him a couple seconds later. And that's it. That you can't even give a round off just one punch. But let's say you give him that round. That's it. One round. Tio had the best performance by far. And now these guys are like, yeah, but Barboza was overrated. Barboza got no punching power. It's always something. So, okay, fine. So you're going to keep the same energy with Devin, right? No. Devin did what he was supposed to do. He had a year off. So what? Did he forget how to fight? So what? You got a year off. You should remember how to fight, right? It's crazy. It's embarrassing. And these dudes are always going to make excuses for them. But I'm going to tell you like this. You're never going to see the old Devin Haney, which was lackluster to begin with. You're never going to see that again. That man is totally spent. That kid got PTSD. Whatever Ryan did to him last year completely ruined his mental. Completely. I mean, this guy, when Jose Ramirez was about to throw a punch, this kid was out of there. He was out of there, bro. Straight PTSD. And is real, man. Unbelievable, bro. Oh yeah, you see that too, right? You see that too, right? It's kind of crazy. So you got my question is, who's Devin gonna fight next? I mean, who you gonna fight? You heard what Tim Bradley said, right? I don't know if I go with that much of a conspiracy theory, but you know what he thinks? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I just think Devin is shot. I do. I think he's shot, but Tim Bradley thinks that basically he didn't want the Ryan rematch. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep. I think both of them had a year off. Both of them were rusty, right? Ryan got clipped by a power puncher. He got clipped by a power puncher. That's why he started moving backwards, right? He didn't attack like the normal Ryan Garcia, right? But if you want to give the same excuse for Devin, then you got to give the same excuse for Ryan. But of course, they're gonna shit on Ryan. Why? Because Ryan lost. Yeah, Ryan lost. Ryan deserves the criticism. I don't understand why y'all can't do the same for Devin, bro. The man ran. It's embarrassing, the boxing. And you guys that really stuck up for this guy, you guys look stupid, bro. You look stupid. You do. If Tio had a bad performance, bro, I swear. If you think if you think for 1 second I would get up here, y'all know I get on Tio all the time. His performance was lackluster, even with the. I think he put on he took Barboza to school. I think the criticism I see with Tio is still the same thing I still see. I expect a lot out of Tio because I rock with Tio, and I also think that a lot of times he plays around. He plays with his food. When if he just locked in a little bit more, he could probably drop the dude, stop him, but then he starts, he tries to showboat or whatever. I mean, there's criticisms I still see with Tio, but I rock with Tio all day. I never go against Tio. I'm not talking about what he does outside the ring. I'm talking about inside the ring, right? And when I see these dudes on here want to sit there and try to criticize Tio, but sit there and not say nothing about Devin when he was straight embarrassing, bro. Terrified. You only win a fight because you need the mount in offense. So what does he do? He mounts just enough to win the round. Jose Ramirez, yeah, he should have thrown more punches, but stylistically, Jose Ramirez, the way he fights is he gets set when he's in front of you, right? So kudos for Devin for keep moving. When you keep moving with Jose Ramirez, that's how you upset him because he's kind of like a pressure fighter. He needs to, when he throws his punches, he needs to be set. Every time he was set to throw a punch, Devin was gone, right? And that's good. That's good game plan. But he was gone and didn't fire nothing back. It was just gone. Run. Jab here. Run. Jab here. Run. Jab hook. Run. That's it, bro. The whole fight. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You know, one of the worst fights I've ever seen since then? It reminded me of the Rigondeaux fight. It was that bad. I remember the Rigondeaux fight. I was upset with Rigondeaux. I'm like, damn, Rigondeaux, like, are you hurt? Are you injured? Why are you not throwing nothing? Devin gets a, what's going on, Puto? Yeah, too. Yeah, I mean, you know what, and I have to say this, Tio should. I'm not gonna get into his personal business, but yeah, that is true. It's unfortunate that and so many people talk shit about Tio, and a lot of it is warranted. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like it's not. A lot of it is warranted, but he tests himself. It's kind of crazy because the worst people could say about his performance is they start downplaying Barboza. That's all they can do. That's all they can do. They can't do anything else. They have to now downplay Barboza. What are they gonna say? But like I've been watching Devin Haney fans all week, bro, and these dudes is almost up there and delusional as Tank fans, bro. They're like very close, bro. Tank, Haney, and crazy ass Canelo fans, they're delusional. And the three David Benavidez fans in the world, them three, they're delusional. They don't see no mistakes in a person. They don't see nothing wrong. And to me, to be honest with you, when a person does that, it reflects more on you. It does. When I see a person sit there and don't acknowledge anything Devin Haney did wrong and make excuses for everything that he did, I don't even think of Devin at that point. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Because you now become a meat writer, bro. Dead meat writer. And a lot of these guys, like I said, we don't have to have the same opinion. I'll still watch your channel, bro. I'll still watch your channel. But like when you start having takes that is just so blatantly biased, I don't even care if they're paying you, bro. You saw how when like Nestor Gibbs from the Boxing Voice, right? That's a big channel, right? That's a big channel. I watch the Boxing Voice all the time. It don't matter to me. When I see Nestor Gibbs acting a certain way, I'm going to say something. It's no different than these avatars that be on here that never click the link and say something about me. Always got something to say about me. Last person to show the face. Last person to click the link. So I pay attention to them as much as I pay attention to, anything else. I don't. So when I see some people just blatantly deriding Devin, but then it ain't even that. You can do that. But then how can you do that? And then try to criticize the only man that to me did something. And Rolly. But even with the Rolly fight, what was the most exciting round? The round that Ryan got dropped. The round that Ryan got dropped. That fight was lackluster. I thought somebody was gonna get stopped. I did. Ryan deserved to lose, and Ryan got to go back to the drawing board. But the differences between Ryan and Devin? See, Ryan, no matter what people say, he's always gonna have people watching him. He's always gonna have an audience. That's what Ryan can always fall back on. Devin can't. Ryan, when he's on point, he's exciting, right? He wasn't exciting May 2nd. But we know he could be. We know he can be. So even though he lost, to me, it's worse for Devin. Because Devin is supposedly at 147 now. But he didn't even fight at 147. That was 144. And they probably did that, to kind of test the waters. Because he doesn't have a lot of punching power. It is oh man. I saw this one guy, bro. He said he was in New York. He said he talked to Tio. And he said to his subscribers, yeah, Tio ain't what he says he is, right? Meaning like he does a lot of stuff for promotion. We all know that. I've even said that. Like all this stuff he does, like that's not him. He's doing it to kind of provoke people to get a fight or whatever he thinks is best to promote himself. And a lot of times it can come off cringe. That's coming from a T.O. fan, and I'm very vocal about it. And like I said, I'm only vocal about it because I really want the best for bro. I really do. Every time he fight, I root for T.O., bro. At the end of the day, I always do. Boots is one of my favorite fighters, right? If he fights Boots, I'm going for T.O. If T.O. fights another Puerto Rican fighter, I'm going for T.O. I'm T.O. all the way. I'm takeover all the way. Always have been. Never rooted against him. But I know that when he does something that is below standard of what his standards are, I say something. Because I know he could do better than that. I know, even with that masterclass with Barboza, which I call it a masterclass in a sense that everybody was saying, a lot of people that thought that nobody was saying Barboza was going to knock out T.O. I didn't really hear too many people saying that. What I did hear was Barboza gave Ramirez problems and he's got the style to complicate things with T.O. And if anybody's going to lose on May 2nd, it'll be T.O. And then it turns out T.O. completely outboxes this man. Shuts him down. I say 12-0. You want to be kind? 11-1. And I don't know, man. It's like they treat Devin like a kid, bro. Treat him like a kid, man. Well, when we were doing the live, I said that's what was gonna happen. I said that's what was gonna happen. You know what I don't understand? Even if they pay you money, right? Even if they pay you money, the way some of these guys talk, it's not about the money. It's suspect, bro. It's suspect. The way some of these dudes be having the audacity to talk shit about T.O. and then, you know, be on Devin's, you know, just straight meat riding, bro. Just straight meat riding all the time. All the time, bro. You got the audacity to sit there and say, you know, you done pulled up to T.O. or you talked to T.O., right? In New York. You talked to T.O., right? He ain't like what he says he is. Well, why didn't you record it? Where's the footage? Where's the footage? Oh, okay. Yeah. It is man, bunch of frauds, bro. And to be honest, a lot of the guys that I go at, believe it or not, I like some of their boxing takes, or I find them exciting because of the way they are, or their character, or the way they go at people. Some of it is funny, some of it is entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, yo. Sometimes a lot of people will talk shit about Southpaw, right? Yeah, you be at work on a day where it's boring as hell on a break, and turn him on. He might, I don't know, he might make you forget about the last 10 minutes that it was a shitty day. Maybe not for all people, but for some people he does. Everyone's got their talents, right? I watch everybody. I do. Even people that I don't like. I've been through this 1,000 times. I'm a boxing fan. I'm a boxing head. I got no problem saying I disagree with somebody. You know, I said openly that I didn't like what Nestor Gibbs was doing, right? Do you know how many people came at me? Like I gave a fuck. Like I gave a fuck. All insults in the world, too. Insults in the world. Saying everything I thought they were gonna. Oh yeah, well, yeah. You look at you. You got no subscribers. Look at you. You look like this. Look at you. Look at your voice. I never see any of these guys click a link or nothing. I don't know who these guys are. They're a bunch of fucking avatars. That's what they are to me. I still didn't care. I said what I thought I said about Nestor Gibbs. Why did I go at Nestor Gibbs? Right? I went at him because what he did clearly that day. That man sat there. And on the day that he went live to meet Ride Devin, like he usually does, he uploads a short on T.O. Now, whether he did it or somebody on their channel did it, whatever, it don't matter. Uploads this short, right? And to be honest, what he said on the short, I didn't really have a problem with. I didn't have a problem with because I understood why people were mad at T.O. This shit got me frustrated. You know, people didn't understand why I was frustrated. I'm like, bro, my son is half black, bro. I don't play this monkey shit. You know what I mean? I didn't like it personally. And I thought it, for me, it's different. It's different than like a Mexican flag or calling someone a beaner or even a spick, because you're literally insinuating, look like a monkey. And there's a lot of stuff behind that. I just thought it was a horrible way to promote himself. That's me. And I'm a T.O. fan. I was very vocal about it. So actually what he was saying in the short really I kind of agreed in a way. That wasn't the point. The point was he was talking greasy in the short. The way he was talking, the way his attitude was. And it just so happens that same day, T.O. pop up. Show up to the live. And it's like, hey, what's up, man? Been watching. This dude sat there and said, hey, we was just talking about you. And I'm like, okay, he about to tell T.O. how he feel. Let's see. I was just telling everybody, man, that, you just doing this for promotion. And you ain't really like that. And I think I think you're a nice guy. I looked at him like, bro, you ain't serious, are you? Like, bro, like, what if he saw this? I just saw the short. Like, what are you saying? It was the same Nestor Gibbs. Is this a different Nestor Gibbs? Is there two of y'all running around here? Why are you so scary anyway? It's the internet, bro. I don't get it. It's boxing. I love boxing, right? If my take is different than yours, my take is different than yours. That's the problem. Some people think it's real beef. Oh, Shadow didn't like what I said. When I see him, I'm going to do something. No, you're not. No, you're not. Nobody's going to do nothing. The history of YouTube, I've seen people threaten mothers, families. I've seen people dox people. I've seen people call people's jobs. I've seen people go at people's wives. I've seen people do, and all these guys are still living, bro. Nobody got stabbed. Nobody got shot. Nothing. So no, you're not. No, you're not. Took me a while to realize that. Even I know people come on here sometimes and come at me and say the most outrageous shit to me. Yeah, your father's dead. Yeah, your father. Little kid shit. Little elementary ass kid shit. Of course, they do it from a pre-uploaded picture, right? And I don't know who they are. That's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. That's all they could say, right? You know what I say is this, man. If we're having a boxing conversation, right, and we're about to debate, and instead of you actually sticking to the script and talking about what you disagree with me on, the first thing you say is use a bitch, use a hoe, you got no money, da-da-da-da, I fuck your girl, da-da-da-da, your mother. It just shows me you don't know a damn thing about boxing. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're just talking off emotion. You got nothing to back anything up. You got no receipts, bro. You're easy. You're easy to destroy. Facts body everything. Facts body opinions, bro. They do. In my opinion, right? T.O. fought Kambosos half dead and still almost beat the man, but he still lost. A doctor came out and put her medical license on the line and said it's his fault. He still fought. Yeah, but they canceled the fight and like 3-4 times with Triller and all. It's still his fault. You see how facts just body everything I say? It don't matter how I feel. The facts are he lost. The facts are he shouldn't have fought. Or maybe that's even debatable. The fact is he lost, though. So people get mad at me because I have it's not really, it's just how I look, bro. I'm trying to be as fair as I can, bro. I really wanted Devin to shine. Let's make this clear, bro. I talked about it all week. I said, I hope Devin knocks out Jose Ramirez, bro. I hope I really did. And I was hoping Ryan was going to win. It just, when I see like the next day on Sunday, Monday, like, let's be honest, in a way, save boxing on weekend. Sunday morning, and it was kind of funny. Y'all remember when Tyson Fury got dropped by Ngannou, right? It was one of the most, I would say, what the couple of weeks that transpired after that was some of the best times I've had on YouTube. Some of the best times I've had on YouTube. These UFC dudes were coming here every day talking so much shit. Saying things like saying crazy stuff like, man, this guy would outbox Shakur. And then, you know, and I have fun with it. But at the end of the day, I love boxing, right? And yeah, people might look at it like it's tribal or petty. But everybody does it, right? I wouldn't go as far to say it's like how these guys are with PlayStation and Xbox or something like that. It ain't Crips and Bloods, but for me, I love boxing, right? Just like somebody loves the NBA, I love boxing. And when I see something, I want the best for the sport. I really do. And I think it's embarrassing when we have the other sport. Like, look, this is why nobody watch y'all. Y'all had an opportunity to put on a legendary night on May 2nd. What did you guys do? Lackluster. And Ryan Garcia is he's the blame too. And I'm going to say Tio, as much as I feel like, you know, he did the best, bro. He did what he if anybody did what he was supposed to do, it was Tio. All this Devin did what he's supposed to do. No, Devin ran. Tio did what he was supposed to do. The same guy that you try to criticize, and now you literally try to tear his opponent down because you thought Tio was going to lose, and now you got nothing to say, and you can't even say nothing because the fighter that you like was embarrassing. So therefore, the only thing you could do is you can't say nothing about Tio specifically. So what you do, you go at his opponent now. The same opponent you said was going to beat him, by the way. The same opponent you said was going to beat him. When I see like that card, you know, I've started streaming the fights, right? Salute to the people that stream fights, man. Cause it's a couple of hours, bro. It is. And there's a lot of things you could do. Let's be honest. As an adult, you could go out and do something or do something else and just catch, you know, or watch the fight in private and enjoy it more, right? Or catch the highlights or whatever, right? Streaming, I mean, unless you know you're gonna financially benefit from it, right? Streaming takes hours. And you sit in there like, yeah, I'm about to stream this card, and then just every fight is like, what is this? It's lackluster, bro. Damn. And it was set up with the names to be a great card, bro. Come on, man. Teofimo Lopez, Barboza, Jose Ramirez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. Like, you would think that's crazy because all three fighters, well, I would say a couple of them, including Rolly, were headliners. Right? Rolly done headline a couple of times. He headlined with Tank. He didn't headline with Pitbull, but I think even in that pay-per-view, right, the Pitbull versus Rolly was the most exciting fight that night. That was the Crawford and Madrimov, remember? Which fight was more exciting, Crawford and Madrimov or Rolly Romero and Pitbull? Rolly Romero carried that whole pay-per-view. I talked about it a lot, bro. I'm so glad Rolly won, by the way. I'm happy for Rolly. Rolly done carried a couple pay-per-views by now promoting. He didn't do much promoting this one. But with the Pitbull, he did. He got the dog. He named the dog Isaac. And during the interviews, he's like, shh, Isaac, shh. You know, he literally bought a dog. He named him Isaac. Isaac Cruz was mad as hell. His wife was like, yo, my husband's going to hurt him. And then he took the little piñata and drove it out to the Las Vegas or the Nevada desert and beat up the piñata, right? He was selling it. So you got Rolly Romero, power puncher. May not be the most technical boxer, power puncher, right? And you got Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, right? I really don't got to explain much about Ryan, but it's Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney. A lot of people give Devin Haney shit, including myself, but I've always never did it unfairly, in my opinion. I've always said the kid is talented, and when he's on his A game, it's hard to beat him because he's going to throw that jab in your face all night. And the real A game, Devin Haney, like, I'm not going to lie, the one that fought Loma wasn't bad. I know a lot of people give him shit for that because they think he lost. But that's Devin, bro. That's what you're going to get with Devin, though. You're not going to get knockouts. You're not going to get Tank, bro. You're not going to get T.O. You're not going to get Ryan and Rolly. You're going to get Devin, right? What's Devin? Elusive, smart, throwing that jab, pretty good check hook, combinations. He's got a good 1-2, but even when he throws the 1-2 with a hook followed after, I mean, it's like trademark Devin, bro. Believe me, a lot of pugilists don't look at the defensive style as like garbage. I know a lot of people are like extreme with it. Some people are extreme. They call anything running. And that's another thing too. I'm extreme with things in my life, but I noticed that when these guys try to make excuses for people, they're so extreme with things. They're so extremes. So people say, damn, I wish Devin would have thrown more punches. You know what they say? What's he supposed to do? Stand there and let somebody hit him? Like, come on, you know that's not what we mean. We don't mean to play rock'em sock'em robots. We mean be more offensive. You're fighting like you're scared. You are. You fighting like you don't want to be there, and we are fans and we're watching this and we're like, why are we watching a man that's afraid to get hit in a sport where hitting is expected? Where getting hit is how the opponent wins. You can't win off defense. You can't win off blocking. You can't win off dodging. You can look all smooth all you want. I throw 10 punches, I block them. You throw 10 punches and I dodge them and I'm levitating, doing backflips, but none of us land a punch, bro. None of us scored nothing. Yeah, I looked a little better, but none of us landed nothing. It's hit and not get hit. Not get hit, not get hit, not get hit, not get hit. It's hit and not get hit. You know, we hold these guys accountable, right? If we hold them more accountable, even if you like a fighter, like hold them accountable. Like without the fans, there is no boxing. This Turk thing that's going on right now, this whole Turk thing, it's only temporary, bro. It's temporary. It's either gonna go two ways. It's gonna go back to how it was, where Turk's not funding everything. You know what I mean? Or it's going to go to the TKO method that they have, which I don't think is going to happen. But it's going to go back to, that's why I'm like, enjoy it now. Yeah, I know there's a lot of fights there's a lot of fights he puts on. I'm like, damn, bro, why is he putting that on? But there is some fights he gives me as a boxing fan where I'm like, okay, I can mess with that fight. It's not all bad for me. People are so extreme. They either hate the Turk, they love the Turk. It's like, bro, there's somewhat in the middle. And then and before I go on to the Canelo fight, I want to say this too, bro. As an example, this is why I like Japanese fighters. In fact, I like Japan. I'm gonna go to Japan. I'm planning on trying to go to Japan for a vacation. I like the Japanese people. They fight and do things with honor, bro. The dude that fought prior to T.O. and Barboza, the guy that fought his first fight. Now, they're giving him a name before he even does anything. But they're calling him like the next monster in a way, the next Nakatani, right? It's like the next big thing is what they say, right? Regardless, you know what I like about the fighter, and that's another thing too. This is true, bro. This is true. If you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. There's a difference between the culture of America and how people from other countries do shit, bro. Over here, a prospect, they got no problem over here in America. They got no problem giving a dude 10 straight guys, all same level. 10 straight fights of fighting dudes that literally are like electricians during the day, right? Without raising any level of opposition. And then, right, just to keep that buzz going, Yeah, he's going to get a stoppage. He's fighting hardly anybody, right? Boom, boom, get stopped, right? Get that name up. Get that name up. But they're not building them. They're not building them up in opposition. And then what happens? The moment he gets a fighter that he should like challenge him, he gets blown out the water because he never faced adversity. He never got dropped. He never got hurt. He never got cut. He never lost a round, right? These dudes from the other countries, bro, these dudes are like, nah, bro. My first fight, give me somebody give me somebody with some oomph to it. That's what the dude that he fought, the dude had heart. The dude was pretty good. I don't know his record, but they could have picked a way worse opponent, bro. They could have picked a dude where the Japanese guy was just going to blow him out the water and knock him out, but they didn't. They said, he himself said, no, I want to be tested. You're not going to do me like a regular prospect, bro. No. I'm going to prove to you who I am. That's why I like the Japanese dudes, because they fight with somewhat honor, bro. Like, Inoue got dropped this past weekend, right? You know what makes this dude special, bro? You know what makes him so special? The fact that he's moving from division to division to division and clearing them out, right? And he's doing it in a dominating fashion. And as you see, he's moving up in weight, and his power isn't having the effect anymore as it did, right? A couple weight classes down. He still hits hard, but it's taking time to get these guys out of here. And now, in a way, starting to get dropped. And you know what's so crazy? He loves it. He loves it. When you drop in a way, I love the fighters. When you drop them, you got to be careful. There's fighters that I feel like have that instinctually in them. I was shocked. Ryan didn't show it. Ryan showed it one time with the Campbell thing, but like I said, Ryan had a horrible performance. But there's certain fighters, when look at how Abdullah Mason got dropped. What did he do? He got up, he tried to kill that man and got dropped again. Tito Trinidad would get dropped. He'd get up, knock you out. I guarantee you, if Boots get dropped, what you think Boots gonna do? You think Boots is gonna get up and be like Devin and go back? You think Boots is gonna do that? No. Even Crawford. I have my criticisms for Crawford. Crawford got dog in him. You think if you drop Crawford, Crawford's gonna back up? Nah, he's not. He's not, bro. He's not. You drop him, he's gonna come forward. He's gonna try to hurt you. It's like an animal that's cornered into the corner. Like they don't care at this point. In a way, bro, when that guy gets dropped, it's exciting. He gets up and just ends up stopping the guy. And it's becoming even more exciting because he's moving up in weight, and now his punches, he doesn't have that one punch knockout power. It's taking a while to stop these guys, and these guys are dropping him. It makes for classic fights, bro. And they do it because of like this honor thing. That's why the dude that fought on May 2nd was like, no, you're not going to give me a damn Carpenter. Give me somebody that can hurt me. So did he look vulnerable? That guy? Yeah, he did look vulnerable. But then again, it was his first fight. Then again, he told them, I don't want a layover. I don't want a pushover. I want a guy that's going to try to knock me out. I don't want you to go to the nearest construction site and clock a dude out and tell him to be here tomorrow. I want a dude that's going to, and that's what that kid was doing. That kid was trying to win. And he told him at the press conference. I forgot the kid's name. He told him at the press conference. He said, bro, you ain't going to make a name out of me. You think you're going to just come here, you got this name from Japan or whatever, and you're just going to use me as a, not me. And then he kept saying translated. Did y'all see that? He said translated. Every time he said that, he said translate. No. He told the lady, no. I'm not moving on. Tell him that. Tell him he ain't going to walk all over me, bro. So that guy was there to win. And it makes for an exciting fight. All I'm saying, man, is like, as a boxing fan, there's some things you can respect, even if you don't like the person. I wanted Devin Haney to win badly. And there's nothing that I could say that impressed me. Other than he gets respect for getting in the ring. Everybody gets respect for getting in the ring. I don't care if you're a no-name. For getting in the ring and lacing up the gloves, bro, yeah. You better than everybody in this as far as doing that, as far as like opinion-wise. Well, yeah, he got in the ring. Okay. But as a boxing fan, we have standards, right? We expect more from Ryan and Devin. Y'all were supposed to put on an example so you guys could get the rematch. And the whole thing just collapsed. It just collapsed, both of them. But Ryan got clipped, man, before he did what he did. What's Devin's excuse? I had a year off. So did Ryan. Ryan had a more dangerous opponent, in my opinion. Jose Ramirez has to get set to throw his punches. He's a pressure fighter. But he has to be set because he throws multiple punches and he doesn't do it while he's moving that much. He's like, you know what I mean? That's why Barboza was able to capitalize off him. Barboza was able to use his jab and keep moving, and it frustrated Jose Ramirez. Plus, he's probably a little bit over the hill by now. I know he's kind of young still, but he's had some wars. You remember he had a war with, what was it, Maurice Hooker, Mighty Mo? Whatever happened to Mighty Mo? Whatever happened to him anyway? I like that guy. Had wars with him. The Josh Taylor fight. These things take a lot out of you. And this is why I feel like Ryan took a lot out of Devin. It's a heart thing, bro. But, you know, people can get mad at me all they want. But I don't want to see a fighter show up and collect a check, bro. And yeah, Canelo is to blame for Skull too. But it looked like the man showed up, grabbed his money, grabbed his suit. Like he just ran. It's like he just ran, bro. Devin fighting like he got PTSD. This is the truth, man. I'm not shitting on Devin because I wanted Devin to win. Let's be serious here, man. It looked bad for boxing. Even T.O. could have did better. I'm telling you, T.O. should have. You know what I don't like about T.O.? I expect so much out of him. I expect so much out of T.O. I criticize him so much, bro. And I think I do it a little bit too much, bro. Because I really fuck with T.O., bro. I do. I will never bet against him in the ring. Like I said, could be another Puerto Rican fighter. I ain't never going against T.O., bro. Never. I think I criticize him a little bit too much, but if there was criticism for him, I think he could be a little bit more focused. You know, you don't have to showboat, right? If you would have just, you know, turned it up a little bit on Barboza, you probably could have dropped him and got him out of there. I really do think so. But I also think T.O. is maybe like, you know what? I could do whatever I want with him right now. I think that was his mindset. Like, I could do whatever I want with him. Like, I don't have to push the issue and this is where taking chances become instrumental or not. Because once again, the whole card was lackluster as a whole. So my criticism for T.O. is, I get it. You could have did whatever you wanted at that time, but you could have turned it up a notch too, T.O. But then again, I always expect the most from T.O. I know when T.O.'s on his A game, there's not many people that's going to beat him, bro. There's not. He's too athletic. And he's not afraid to get hit. And when you hit him, he comes back. Man, y'all should know boxing is just as much mental as it is being in shape. You could come in shape all you want, but if your mental is not there, like, you shouldn't be afraid to get hit, bro. That's all I'm saying. If you're in a boxing fight, you shouldn't be afraid to get hit. Yeah, you don't want to get hit, but you shouldn't look like you're afraid to get hit. That's what he looked like. Devin looked like he was afraid to get hit. And if you and of course, people want to say, well, you just want him to lose. That's not true. That's not true. I wanted bro to knock him out. I wanted the rematch. Ryan Garcia, you too. Ryan, I was shocked. Ryan got dropped. It didn't push the issue. But Rolly's a hard hitter. You see what I'm saying? Rolly had already dropped him. Rolly had already hurt him. You go back to that replay, Ryan was hurt. Does that give him an excuse to not try to come back? No. But at least he had a more valid excuse. Like what? Devin, like Jose Ramirez couldn't even get a chance to get set to throw punches. And that's credit to Devin because, like I said, when he would get set, Devin's gone already. But Devin was gone, wasn't throwing nothing. Yeah, you know, look, man, Canelo, you could see Canelo is not in his prime no more. I think prime Canelo, or even a way better version of Canelo, could have cut that ring off a little bit more. I mean, but the same thing. The man was running, bro. This man was stopping to throw a punch here or there. He was so happy when the fight ended, Skull. He was so happy. Did you hear what they said when they hugged at the end of the fight? Did you hear what they said? It was hilarious. Look at what they said. It was hilarious.
And School just touched Canelo more there than he did the entire fight.
Yes, he did. And Canelo scolding him, saying, come on, man, that wasn't a fight.
He touched Canelo there more than he did the entire fight when he gave him a hug. But I saw Canelo, and Canelo was looking, you know, you could tell. Here goes the thing. Canelo is younger than Bud, but older in the ring. And you could kind of see it. Father time, bro. Father time. It takes everybody, man. He's made a lot of money. I still salute the man. He doesn't have to fight if he doesn't want to. But at the same time, like, you know, people are going to expect Canelo to keep fighting the best. But he looks like he's gotten a little slower, man. He's, you know, and you gotta ask yourself, is he getting too old where, like, you know, that whole Marvin Hagler waking up with silk sheets, like, is that, you know, you got to ask yourself, is that happening with Canelo? Is he getting, you know, and Bud too, like Bud ain't exempt. Bud getting old too. He another one. Why you think he banking on this fight? He's not taking a fight in between. Canelo sitting here taking a fight or two in between. Crawford's just waiting. No, I ain't gonna take a fight, man. No, I got to fight up in September. Yep. Canelo's still fighting in between. Like, nah, bro, I got these dates I keep up every year, and I ain't stopping for. Yeah, I'll see you in September. When this turkey thing run out, bro, that's why I say, man, value it now, man. Value it now. Because at the same time, brother, at the same time, like, to be fair, man, it's like, I feel like when you're paid a lot, HOD, and this is where me and you differ. Don't get it twisted. I put most of the blame is on Skull. There's no way in hell you have a belt and you fighting like you don't want to fight. I'm always going to put the blame on the fighter that's constantly evading, not throwing punches, gets the most blame from me. But I still also criticize the opponent in how they make an attempt to cut that dude off. I mean, how would it look if I just stop and go, well, he doesn't want to fight me, so I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to try to cut him off or nothing. Like, I mean, yeah, you could say that. But then again, you're getting paid a lot of money. And I know you're frustrated. But you can only control yourself. I criticized Boots when Karen was doing all that shit. Boots, to me, did worse in the rematch. I'm just 100 on all fighters, man. I could always criticize a fighter too, by the way. I could always find something. And I criticize myself more than anybody, bro. I'm just like that. But when I look at this fight, I think Canelo could have did a little more to kind of like, but I think it's not that he couldn't. I just think he probably didn't want to. And I just feel like he's lost a step or two in speed. That's just what I see. That's just what I see. Could I be wrong? Yeah. But that's just the thing. Even with him being in so-called a decline, he's still able to beat a lot of these guys. I respect Canelo for fighting in between and not just waiting till September, just waiting until somebody just begs to give you a match, just begging. Like, nah, bro, get in the ring and fight. And I'm going to tell you like this, bro, the May 2nd card, it just wasn't good. The Canelo card, it wasn't good. The Bacoli fight was good. The Bacoli and F.A. Ajagba, that was a good scrap. I like that. I was surprised nobody got knocked out in that, but Jaime Munguia did good on his rematch, right? But it is what it is, man. If it's a good card, if it's exciting fights, I'm gonna say it's exciting fights. And I also don't take a defensive fighter and go, oh, he's just running all the time. I don't do that. However, when you are excessively moving and you're hardly throwing a punch, bro, you're only throwing a jab just to throw it. Like, you're literally only throwing a jab just because if you don't throw something, you can't win a round. That's what it looks like to me. Some of these guys, they're not throwing to hurt their opponent. They're not throwing to hurt their opponent. They're throwing because they know they have to throw something. It's like that. It's like a dude that shows up for work and is like, well, I got to lift up something. I got to do something today. I just can't clock in and sit down. It's like that attitude. It's like, but then go home, bro. Then go home. You don't want to be here, go home. I don't understand why a person will fight, even if you got no punching power. I've seen Devin Haney fight with way better urgency or fight way better, even with the year off layoff. Jose Ramirez was a perfect opponent for him, bro. You couldn't get no perfect in that. Stylistically, bro, come on, bro. For people saying Jose Ramirez was going to beat him, the only thing I saw was that he was in good shape, bro. Stylistically, I thought Devin was going to actually get him out of there. I did that. Stupid me for thinking that, but I really did, because I'm like, Jose Ramirez isn't going to be able to land anything on Devin. He's not. By the time he's going to be able to load up, Devin's going to be gone. And Devin could do that all night. And he did that. Just didn't throw anything. And that's embarrassing to the sport. Not just your fans, bro. To the sport. And what I don't understand, if you're a fan of somebody and you see that, you should be mad. You wasting your time. You only get, even if you believe in God, the life you have here right now is one. You watch a whole card for like 3-4 hours and it's lackluster. You wish you didn't watch the card, did you not? Man, I could have caught the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? Who are you talking to, HOD? Oh, Jose. I mean, regardless. No, Jose, me and him have a different view. He looks at it like, well, if the guy didn't come to fight, I don't have to do anything. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, okay, he's running, right? All I could do is focus on me, but I could at least try to stop the motherfucker, right? I could at least try. Like, I see he's running. I know there's people in the crowd. I know I've got paid millions of dollars, right? I don't even know how a fan would accept that, right? Like, you as a fan are going to be like, well, the guy's running, so, it's okay for the other guy to just sit there and nobody do nothing. I'm only just watching the pay-per-view, Nah, not me. I don't do that. Nah, If I see a dude that's not throwing punches, I expect the other puncher to at least try to do something. Now, if he can't, that's a different story. Let me ask you, do you think Jose Ramirez wasn't throwing punches? Or do you think Devin Haney was moving so much a lot of times he couldn't? I put blame on him too, but I also know his style. He needs to be set a lot of times. He's very flat-footed. But still, even he could have pressed the issue, right? It was so boring, bro. I watched it live and literally talking to people, which makes the time go by. But I'm literally watching it on this monitor and talking to y'all like how I have now. And I'm looking over here, and it was so... I got tired, bro. I took a shot of a 5-hour energy drink. I'm not even exaggerating. I took a shot of a 5-hour energy drink because I knew Ryan was still going to come on. And I was like, damn, I don't want to turn off the stream, bro. It was that bad. I've never, ever gotten to a point where I've been going to fall asleep. Not even a Shakur fight, to be honest with you. The De Los Santos was up there too. It was bad. But the Shakur fight in New Jersey, when people went home, remember when people went home, right? Shakur was at least attempting to do something. He just got no power. He was at times trying to take it to Artem. He was trying, because I looked back at it the other day. He was trying. He just couldn't do. I think like he realized, like, I'm not gonna hurt this guy. I'm not gonna hurt this guy. I can't get him out of there. But there was times where I saw Shakur try before he finally said, forget it. Once he saw the fans start leaving and everybody start leaving, then he's like, well, now I'm definitely not going to take a chance. But he was trying though, bro. Like I really wanted Devin to win. And by the way, you go back and look at the live. HLD is telling me, he comes on and he's like, Haney's trash, right? And I'm over here, go back to the live. I'm still trying to stick up for Haney. I look back at it now, I'm looking stupid. But you go back to the live, HOD comes on. Shout out to HOD. He's like a part of this channel. And by the way, what makes it good when he's on is me and him don't agree on most shit. We don't. So we argue a lot, and that makes it for good content. Me and him view the sport differently. We do. We view the sport on a lot. We both like Tio, but that's about as much as it goes with me and HOD. We kind of like our different views on everything. But that's good though. And he's been, supportive as day one. But he came here. He's like, yo, Devin is trash, bro. And I'm like, nah, HOD, I don't want to go that far. He's like, nah, bro, tell me what he got. Tell me what he got. Like he said something like, Tank got a good right hand. Trinidad had a good left. Ryan got a good left. Rolly got a good right, whatever, right? Like, what does Devin have other than a jab? And I was like, well, he's athletic. He's an athlete, But I'm looking back at it and I'm like, I'm trying to make something out of nothing. Because at the time, we're seeing one of the most lackluster fights in a long time. And I'm over here trying to make something out of nothing. I'm trying to make I'm trying to bake a cake, but I got no ingredients. I'm just trying to make ingredients up. Like I'm literally trying to like say something and I couldn't. And I go and I look back at the fight and I'm like, I do not agree with Tim Bradley, but I'm telling you, bro, tell me what he said here that was so, because I've already seen people try to say that it's a personal thing. Let's make it clear, right? When Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia, remember when he lost to Ryan Garcia? Who was the first one to stick up for Devin? It was Tim Bradley. The very next day I did a live, I actually was trying to shit on Tim Bradley because the first thing Tim said was, man, them 3 pounds, bro. Ryan did that on purpose, right? And I was like, I was upset. I'm like, why are you bringing that up, Tim? Because Devin could have stopped the fight. He didn't stop the fight. He took the money, right? So why are we talking about the 3 pounds, right? That's the first thing Tim Bradley was sounding off the next day. And so he was one of the first ones to get on Ryan, right? Just talk mad crap about Ryan. Oh, he's undisciplined. He came in heavy. And then when Ryan got popped, Tim Bradley went really off on him. So it's like, y'all can't sit there and go, well, Tim Bradley doesn't like Devin. How? What? No. He went at Ryan more than he went at Devin. But tell me what he says right here is incorrect.
Haney put on the Ryan put on the as well. But Haney was supposed to be going back to the drawing board, getting better. Did you think he got better? Absolutely not.
Mosley to the team, all that stuff.
Just because you add a Hall of Famer to your team don't make it's gonna make you better. I promise you that. Devin, yesterday, I felt like he didn't want to fight either with Ryan Garcia. The way he was fighting, how scared he was. PTSD is a real thing in fighting, in boxing. It's a real thing. And I felt that's what I saw with Devin, watching him run around the ring. Man, I was like, damn, did this dude, I said, did he train with Usain Bolt? Who the hell he trained with? I said, he running around this ring like he crazy. I'm like, yo, settle your feet down, bro, and grow some balls, man. Grow some balls and stand there and jab and make sure to back this guy up off of you. But nah, man, like, look, I take so much, bro. I was so angry after watching that, bro. I wasted my time watching that last night.
I mean, and that's a guy that went at Ryan more than a lot of people. I'm not even saying, oh, look, because Tim Bradley said it. There's a lot of things about Tim Bradley I don't like. Let's make it clear. I don't like his view on Canelo. I don't like how he, when it comes to Bud, he doesn't say anything about Bud. Like, there's things I really don't agree with it. But what that man said right there is 100%. Is 100%. Ryan shit the bed. So did Devin. But Devin's is worse because of the situation. Devin had an opponent where he was set. Did you hear him? He was set up to shine. Rolly is a power puncher. Rolly can catch you in between punches. Tank, for y'all that don't like Tank and for y'all that are Tank fans, Tank said out his own mouth, Rolly is the hardest puncher he's faced. He said he could feel it when he blocks. And they asked him again to the lead up to this fight. He said, I think Rolly's going to win. He said, people don't understand. Yeah, it's skill-wise or whatever, but Rolly hit hard. Ryan had a tougher task in front of him. They both had a year off. They both did horrible. But Devin fought like he was scared, bro. And I'm just as much as these dudes talk shit about the fighters that they support. Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. So these dudes were talking shit about Tio, and I'm like, what? How? Tio had the best performance of all 3 fights. Yeah, he could have probably focused more. I think HOD took the words out of my mouth because we were talking about it, and I think HOD was like, he could have been more. I forgot what HOD said, but the same thing. But I feel like he was in a situation where he knew, like, I could do whatever I want with him. So it is, but even still, I feel like he could have turned it up a notch. But how you going to criticize Tio and then for your guy be like, he did what he was supposed to do? He had a year off. Yeah, he had a year off. Which actually could be a good thing in a lot of ways, right? If you've taken a beating, having a year off is probably a good thing, right? You're in great shape. You don't gotta kill yourself to make weight. You moved it up to 144. You didn't look like a skeleton when you came into the weigh-in like you usually do, with your face all sunken in and bones and everything. So you can't even say that was an issue, right? It ain't like you got dropped and then was like, oh wow, I gotta be careful. None of that. No, it was none of that. It was from the beginning, from the moment you touch gloves. I don't want to get hit. And it looks bad for the sport. It is what it is. It looks bad for the sport. And I think it is PTSD. I do wish Devin the best. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go for Devin, and it's that depending on who he fights. If he fights someone like Tio or something. But in his next fight, I'm going to go for him again. Because I do not want this dude to be shot. I don't. Even for fighters that I don't like, I want them to do well because it sets up fights against fighters that I want them to go against. So even if I kind of like don't like the fighter, if he's moving in a direction where he'll fight one of the fighters that I do like, or I think it's a great stylistic matchup, I'm gonna pull for him, like, because it's good for boxing. It's good. It's a good fight. I've criticized Bud Crawford a lot when it came to the boots thing. Make no mistake, bro. Even with his resume that people want to question at one, like, Bud's a dog to me. It's just kind of funny to me, man. I don't mind it, Jose, if you throw punches. You know what? Another thing is crazy. These dudes always want to bring up Floyd. No, how dare you bring up Floyd and Sweet Pea? Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, and Floyd. Like, you do know Floyd was offensive, right? Pretty boy Floyd was a nasty motherfucker, bro. And even Money May, when he had to, he did what he had to do. That's doing what you had to do. Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, that was like art, bro. This man would stand in front of you, dodge your punches, and hit you with a 3-piece before you even know what happened. He was offensive too. This is where these dudes is like, I mean, come on, man. It's hit and not get hit, not get hit, not get hit, not get hit. You guys know that. You guys know that. I'll tell you one thing. The day T.O. shows up and runs for 12 rounds, bro, I swear to you, bro, I will go off on him for 2 straight hours, bro. I don't care whether I like him or not. It's an embarrassment, T.O. He better not do some shit like that, bro. You better be damn near dying to do something like that. And I didn't even expect that from Devin, to be honest with you, because I feel like Devin was in a situation where Devin had an opportunity to kind of like silence a lot of critics. Like, nobody was really expecting him to knock out Jose Ramirez. I said that I hope he would have dropped him, sort of like a pro grade thing, right? But I mean, it was wishful thinking. Like, I really did want Devin to win. Like, I'm looking at Devin like, bro, I want him to come back. I want him to make a statement. I want him to look like maybe like a little version of like when he fought Jose Linares, like not that much, but, or maybe even Loma. I know a lot of people get on him for the Loma, right? But I like that Devin because, you know, when he started that fight, he was taking away Loma's jab. You know, he was doing the straight. It was taken, like, you could see it was a different strategy. He was implementing the strategy. Yeah. When Loma started tearing up into him in the later rounds, Devin started doing the backpedaling. But still, like, for the most part, Devin was doing what he was supposed to do. He was winning rounds. It's not like Loma didn't win all those rounds. Ryan did win all those rounds. I don't care what anybody says. Like, other than that first round, I gave Devin the second, maybe the third, the fourth, the fifth, until he got clipped. He was boxing good, bro. Like, I give credit to where it's due. Like, I'm not just gonna crap on somebody just to crap on them, bro. But when you get in there and you throw nothing, or you throw just a bare minimum, because you know if you don't throw something, you'll lose the round, that's embarrassing. And you're wasting my time. You're wasting my time, and you're wasting your fans' time. But your fans got no nuts. They got no nuts to say nothing to you. You're only making it worse, man. You're making it worse. I wonder what some of these guys are saying to him, for real. Like, are some of you guys really, like, you guys that talk to him, are you guys really telling him? I really want to know. I know some of you guys really talk to him. Are you guys really telling him right now, like, damn, Dev, you did what you supposed to do, Dev? You did what you supposed to do. Yeah, masterclass. Are y'all really? I hope y'all not. I hope one of y'all got enough balls to be like, hey, y'all want to call him champ? Go ahead. Hey, champ. Yo, come on, man. You could have, Jose Ramirez was kind of set up for you to shine, and you kind of did nothing. But nah, they're not doing that. They're telling them, yeah, champ, you did what you're supposed to do. Hit, not get hit. Pretty boy Floyd. Pretty boy Floyd. How dare you put him in the same sentence as Floyd and Sweet Pea? Are you out of your mind? That's an insult to Floyd. Yeah, and that's another thing too. And this is where me and you were talking about it, like with Tio, right? I feel like Tio could have turned it up a notch, because you want to know why I wanted the whole thing to be great. Remember they were talking about how many permits was used to shut down Times Square? This is the first time they ever had Times Square, bro. Like, that was dope. That was dope. They had a ring in the middle of Times Square, cars going back and forth, open crowd. You had Michael Buffer there, right? So you had everything set up. When they came to the ring, they didn't walk to the ring. They drove down from the street in a vehicle. Tio came out of a taxi, like, it was dope. And I'm like, damn, bro, if this shit does well, we'll get another one, right? Turkey ain't never doing that again. And you know what? For once, I kind of don't blame Turkey, because if you would have told me, hey, yo, Shadow, May 2nd, Teofimo Lopez is going against Arnold Barboza, Devin Haney is going against Jose Ramirez, and the main event is going to be Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero in Times Square in an open scenery. They're going to come down in the cars. Michael Buffer's going to be there. They had some actors there and everything, like, but it's going to be one of the worst cards of the year. I would have looked at you and said, get the hell out of here. And hell no. First thing I would have said is, Rolly and Ryan, oh, fireworks all day. Fireworks all day. Even Devin. I would have said, Devin? Oh, man, he had a year off. Who's he fighting? Jose Ramirez. Oh, tailor-made for him. Haney gonna put on something, bro. And plus he want that rematch. That's what a boxing fan's thinking, bro. Not, I hate Devin so much, I hope he gets into the ring and runs. No, like, you're delusional if you think that, bro. You really are. You guys that really think that, like, you think we sit around just wanting Devin to lose? No, I actually wanted Devin to win so he can get his ass whooped in that rematch. That was what I was looking for. It's all in your head. And then it goes back to well, Devin don't need to do nothing because y'all don't like him. So that's the new narrative now, right? We don't like him, right? Here goes the new narrative. We don't like Devin. We wish the worst. So therefore, he don't have to do nothing, y'all. He don't gotta try. He don't gotta try for the rest of his career. He don't gotta do it. All he gotta do is go in the ring, throw a jab here, throw a jab there, be very evasive, and just win on points. He don't gotta do nothing because people don't like him. Does that even make sense to you? You know how many people didn't like Floyd? You know how many people don't like Canelo? People don't like David Benavidez, right? That doesn't change the way they get into the ring. That doesn't change the way they try to go at your opponent. When you fight in a combat sport, bro, I'm not saying you should be able to try to knock out your opponent, especially if you don't have the ability to knock out your opponent. But damn, bro, you should be mounting some sort of offense, bro, at the end of the day. Some sort of offense. He did, but he got clipped. You know, I'm not saying it's okay, but at least he has a reason, Hawker. What's Devin's reason, though? I don't remember Jose catching him with anything. I don't even remember Jose Ramirez, like, really. I don't recall a time when I was like, wow, good shot by Jose Ramirez. Like, remember none of that. I don't. All I remember was the announcers and Antonio Tarver getting mad. That's what I remember. I remember Antonio Tarver saying, this boy's scared. This boy's scared. This boy don't want to engage with nothing. That's what I remember Antonio Tarver saying. For the most part. I don't know. I'm glad you brought that up because do you think it's gonna be like that? Let me like, do you think if Shakur is beating Cepeda? I mean, remember, Cepeda's undefeated too, right? Let me ask you. So, like, you think if Shakur is beating him 8-0, you think he's gonna not try to cut the ring off? Nah, bro, he's gonna try to cut the ring off. Certain fighters just have it in them, bro. It's instinct. Certain fighters have it. Some fighters don't. You as a boxing fan, the main thing you should want is excitement, bro. The day you like a fighter and you don't have a good time, but because you like him, that's an excuse for you to have a horrible time watching the card, no excitement. You need to check yourself as a man, because now you're man fanning. Now you're making an excuse for somebody that you know is way better than that, should have done way better than that, and now you are making the excuse, which makes me question you. Now, Cepeda, when I saw him with the Tevin Farmer, because it's interesting, right? Tevin Farmer is a lot different from Shakur, right? The way he fights is a lot different from Shakur. He's not as, I would say, per se defensive as Shakur, but he's tricky. And he is more so defensive, but Tevin Farmer can be really offensive. And a lot of fights that he lost was really close, right? So I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see if Cepeda. I do think Cepeda will make an attempt to, now the difference with Shakur and Devin is this, bro. Do you, other than the De Los Santos fight, I truly believe Shakur tries. Other than the De Los Santos fight, I do think he tries. Like the electrician he just fought his last fight, mind you. He knew in his head, this is an electrician. So I want you to think about this, bro, because if you really think Shakur was thinking this way, come on now, think about it, bro. He was supposed to fight Kid Austin. Kid Austin got sick, right? We don't even know if that's true. But he went over to, what was it, in Saudi, right? Got sick. They get a late replacement for Shakur, like 48 hours right before. We find out the guy's actually an electrician from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So first thing that comes to everybody's mind is electrician versus a 3-division champ. Ah, shit, Shakur gonna shine. You think Shakur was like, well, I don't have to get him out of here. I won't get him out of here. No, Shakur wanted to get him out of there because the longer that fight went, the worse it looks on Shakur, bro. The worse it looks on Shakur. That would have went the distance. They'd have been like, you went the distance with the construction worker who got called in 48 hours to, like, do you understand how that looks? A 3-division champ, 126, 130, and 135. You can't put this man, or at least if you can't put him away, you can't hit him from all angles to where you have his corner stop the fight. No, he wants that fight to be stopped, bro. He wants it to be stopped. And it still went how long? How long did the Shakur fight go? 6 rounds, 7 rounds? So my thing is this. I know Shakur was trying to get him out of there. Shakur is trying. Just don't got power, bro. He just don't got power. He has absolutely I mean, Devin might have more power than Shakur. I mean, you saw when Shakur hurt his hand. He hurt his hand. He didn't even hit anything hardly. It was like a love tap, and he just started like, damn near crying. Yo, did you guys see, not to get off topic, I'm gonna get back on topic. Did you guys see, it's kind of sad. Did y'all see the recent Adrian Broner video? It's sad, bro. It's sad. I felt bad for him, man. And people were laughing at him. And but some people in the comments was like, nah, that's not funny, bro. That's not funny. There's a video of Adrian Broner in like some backyard, all out of shape, gut out, wearing some type of weird shoes or whatever, acting stupid. I don't know how recent it is. It looks like it's recent. To me, it's kind of sad. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to be funny to everybody, right? But really, some people are like, damn, bro. That's like a what could have been. He's not, it's like not taking nothing serious. You look at that and you're like, damn, bro, that's a person whose career, and you should learn to be financial literate, bro. Had a lot of money, you got, But yeah, Shakur tries. Shakur actually makes an attempt to do something. My whole issue with Devin has always been he don't try. And it's because I think he's scared to get hit. Yeah, did you see it too, man? Let me see if I can find it. It was kind of sad, man. I looked at it and I'm like, damn, AB. You could tell like life is getting to him, bro. And I think the saddest thing about it is he's trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to be funny, but people, they're looking at it like, damn, look at the way he looks, bro. He looks so out of shape and so unhealthy. That's what most people are paying attention to. Let me see. Right here. Here we go. Dude is crazy, bro. Dude is crazy. But I mean, it's kind of sad because you look at him, you're like, damn, dude's out. And let's not forget his last performance when he got dropped. And man, Blair the Flair Cobbs probably ended his career, man. I hope he got a good check with Don King. Yeah, but even if you get older, Hawker, you could still be healthy, man. That's a mindset, brother. That's a mindset. I know people in my family that are like damn near in their 50s. They still exercise. They still eat clean. They don't be like, well, I'm in my 50s. I'm going to die anyway. They don't think like that. A lot of people think like that. It's like, you don't have to think like that. That's a choice. And you're going to be miserable if you continue to live like that. I don't expect Adrian Broner to come back and win a title, but you know what he could do? He's respected, right? Is he not respected? He could come back and maybe get a job as an announcer. Get into the business somehow. I'm sure somebody knows him. And if he just did a little turnaround and became more positive, maybe he could help out with promoting or whatever. Like, you might have to swallow your pride, but it's better than that. It's better than that. Next thing you know, we're gonna see him fighting a YouTuber just to get some extra dough. And possibly risking losing to the YouTuber because the YouTuber is younger and in shape and has been doing this at least for a couple of years while you've just been, purposely just being out of shape because you can, and then you lose there. And then it's, it's just crazy, man. I just feel like you don't have to just give up, bro. I don't know. I've in my life, I had no option. I couldn't just give up, bro. Yeah, I feel like that sometimes. Believe me, I feel like that, but it's like I'm in a situation where I can't, bro. I can't. Like I got a son. I got health conditions too that I have, and I can't just be like, damn, I'm gonna die. Trust me, I felt like that sometimes. I'm like, man, what's the point? What's the point? And every single time I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't going out like that. Get my ass up, go on a treadmill, work out. And I always feel better after doing it. Even if I got to drag myself to it, I'm like, yo, I feel good. Better than just sitting there doing nothing. But yeah, that's why I also started with the PTSD thing. Like, I'm not making fun of Devin. I'm a veteran. I have PTSD. I'm 100% service connected. I'm just making light of it. But the truth is I do think he has PTSD. I do. I'm not joking when I say that. I do think he has some sort of PTSD. I think that when he gets in the ring, he gets reminded of what happened to him that night. I think he thinks of what happened to him that night. And those images come back to his head. And you got to remember, the millions of people were watching that fight. Millions of people. The last thing he wants to do is to get clipped again and be put in a situation like that again. So I understand that. I do. I wholeheartedly understand. You don't want to be in that position again. You don't want to be embarrassed again. But my guy, even if you win dominantly, people are going to talk shit about you. No matter what you do, people are going to talk shit about you. You have just as a man that fights, right, in the sport, and you have somewhat of a fan base, right? For your fans, at least, bro. For the people that be sticking their necks out, looking stupid, sticking up for you, calling you the best in the world, and calling you the face of boxing or whatever. Like, do it for them, bro. Do it for them. Do it for your girl. Do it for your dad. Do it for Allah. Or don't do it and then continue to get people like me just gonna, what I've criticized Devin. Actually, if you go back and look, all week I was saying I hope he knocks out Jose Ramirez all week. And a lot of people that don't like Devin wanted him to win because they wanted to see the rematch. Now, even people that didn't want to see the rematch definitely don't want to see the rematch. And now you got people that did want to see the rematch, don't want to see the rematch. And I don't blame either one of them. And that goes for Ryan Garcia too. Ryan Garcia showed that you don't know what Ryan you're going to get. Because when he got dropped by Luke Campbell, he got up and went forward and dropped him with a body shot. When he got dropped by Tank the first time, he got up and attacked Tank. Like he kind of gathered himself, but he attacked Tank. And that's with that's a weight drained Ryan. That's a weight drained Ryan. He still attempted, right? You know what I mean? You get dropped by Rolly, you look like you had no confidence. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that they fought in the amateurs and Rolly beat him twice. So maybe he had some sort of flashbacks like, yo, I remember when he dropped me. I remember when he got me. So, he's to blame too. But in whole, the card should have been a great event, man. And the Canelo thing, man, like I said, bro, all I'm saying is this, bro, just stop treating Devin like a kid, please. Just stop. I mean, this whole like Yes, you're the best, Devin. I won't say nothing to you, Devin. Stop treating him like a kid, bro. Treat him like a man. Say something to him, Bill. Just say something. That's all I'm asking, bro. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's an embarrassment to boxing. The Canelo and Bud, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. Canelo looks a little. Look, man, I get it. I guess what you're saying, HLD, is he didn't have to do nothing because he was running. I mean, still, you could try to cut off the ring, though, bro. You did it with Caleb Plant. Granted, Caleb Plant was a little bit more offensive. Well, way more offensive. Well, why do I get the feeling that if it was a couple years ago, Canelo would have tried to stop that man still? And you want to know how I know? Because he got frustrated. He got frustrated, tried to hit him over the head when they were together. Like he was getting, that's not, Canelo doesn't normally do shit like that. Canelo doesn't be trying to hit people in the back of the head or trying to get a free shot because he can't hit you. Come on, man. That's frustration. That's frustration. So when you say like, oh, he's not supposed to. No, I just, maybe he couldn't, bro. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he thought like, man, maybe it's a mixture of both. Maybe it's like, man, I don't want to follow, and most of the shit goes on Skull. It does. I don't understand how you could get in the ring and don't want to fight, bro. I don't understand that. And I'm getting really sick and tired of these people making excuses for all these guys that be running and not throwing any offense and them calling it they did what they're supposed to do or that's their style. Bro, if your style is not fighting back, bro, that's a horrible style, okay? I've seen many styles. I've seen pressure styles. I've seen in the phone booth style. I've seen counter puncher styles. I've seen aggressive styles. I've seen rock'em sock'em styles. I've seen beautiful hit and not get hit styles. But when you have a style that's just, I don't want to fight style, that's not good, bro. That's a horrible style. Any style but that. Any style but I don't want to throw a punch. I don't want to get hit. Probably the worst style you can have. The only people that are not going to say nothing to you are your diehard fans. That's the only people that's not going to say nothing to you. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, HOD. That's funny. I was about to bring him up. Jermaine Ortiz did the same thing with Tio, but Tio was trying HOD. I think Tio at that, I'm being serious. I think Tio was trying. He just couldn't because Jermaine was borderline running, bro. He was borderline running, and people they don't like Tio so much that they said Jermaine won. You see what I'm saying? They turned that into he ran. I mean, Tio lost is what they're saying. That was a masterclass. I'm like, no, you didn't want to fight. Remember, let's not forget that's for a title. That's even worse too. That's even worse. You know what I think will fix all of this? Do you know what I think would really fix a lot of this? I feel like in the sport of boxing, your style should be taken into consideration before you fight. Okay? Hear what I'm saying? Your style should be taken into consideration. If you are a mover, a person that doesn't have a lot of power, right? I think all that should be taken into consideration. But I also feel like if it's a title fight and you're not throwing punches, you should be penalized financially. I think you should be warned 2 or 3 times. I think the ref should say, hey, you need to start fighting. This is a boxing fight. And give him a couple of warnings. And if he continues to do what he's doing, get hit with a fine. Hit them in their pockets, bro. Make them fight. Is it me? Or did I hear the ref in the Canelo fight? Did I hear that ref say, hey, William Skull, you got to throw something? Did I hear him say that? Because I'm not sure, but I could have swore I heard him say, "Hey, you need to fight, man." I've never heard a ref say, like, the most the ref does is, "Hey, yo, don't grab so much, don't hit over the head. Oh, raise him up, don't hit low blow," right? That's what the ref does, right? Or, takes a look at the cut, brings the doctor over, right? It's not the ref's job to be like, "Hey, man, you need to throw something, bro. What are you doing?" I could have swore I heard him say, "You need to throw something." In a fight for undisputed. This ain't even a regular fight, bro. This a for all the belts at 168. Your name will be in the books with the best of them. You're already getting a huge check. Why don't you want to try? Why? That's Canelo. You get one shot. And even if you lose, but you put up a good fight, you make a good stand-in for yourself, bro, that alone could set you up for some money, a couple more bags down the line. Look at what they did with Berlanga. I can't stand Berlanga. This dude went on a tour. He lost almost every round. He's throwing the ball out in the baseball games and going to Puerto Rico, where he wasn't really accepted, but he makes it seem like he was. That's why when he went down there, he literally had certain people around him to make sure that nobody said nothing or did nothing to him, but that's here nor there. He literally went on this tour like he really beat Canelo, and he didn't. It's sad, really. But the fact of the matter is, because of that, because he so-called went the distance with Canelo, right? But the way he went the distance, he was fighting Canelo, right? You gonna get a couple more bags from that, bro. What was William Skull doing? He literally came there to get a check, bro. And by the way, anytime you hear the announcers like making fun of you, bro, anytime you hear that, it's really bad, because people could sit there and go, "Oh, well, he's supposed to say that because that's not the fight." No, bro. I'm not talking about when the announcers are being biased. Like if we're fighting on ESPN and I'm an ESPN fighter and HOD is a DAZN fighter, and we hear them talk and they're kind of making everything I throw more than what HOD's like. They're kind of sprinkling on a little bit more than what I'm doing, right? Even though HOD's doing just as much, he might throw a punch and connect, and it might even stun me a little bit, and they'll be like, "Yeah, good shot," but then I throw a punch and it's like halfway blocked, and they're like, "Look how clean he's like." I'm not even talking like that. I'm not talking bias. I'm talking when they start throwing jokes at you, when they start using the word pathetic, when they start using the word scared, when they start saying things like, "Why am I here? Who finds this entertaining? What is he doing?" That's bad. That's bad. I could have swore I heard the ref say, "Skull, throw something." After the fight, I told you, when he went to hug Canelo, they made a funny comment about like they believe that was like what was that? That was like the best combination or something like that. Here.
And School just touched Canelo more there than he did the entire fight.
Yes, he did. And Canelo scolding him, saying, "Come on, man, that wasn't a fight."
Like that. Like that's different than them hyping up Canelo because he's with the Turk or whatever, right? No, bro. They're talking about you, right? When Devin Haney was fighting, the stuff they were saying, bro, if anything that was keeping me engaged, I swear to you, go back. The only thing that was keeping me engaged was what Antonio Tarver and I forgot who else, what they were saying about Devin. That kept me engaged. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Even when Ryan Garcia was fighting, they were still going on Devin Haney. I forgot the part where Devin got dropped and he was losing a couple rounds, and they said, "Hey, Antonio, what do you think? Devin's thinking right now? You know, Ryan's having a horrible performance." Antonio turns around and says, "I think Devin should be thinking nothing, absolutely nothing, with that horrible last performance." Oh my God, bro. It was the most funniest thing I've seen, bro. They kept me entertained, bro. Tim Bradley said he trained with Usain Bolt. Was that the dude that ran in the Olympics? Yeah. He said, did he train with him? I thought he trained with Shane Mosley. Oh, he must have trained with Usain Bolt. It's bad, bro. It's bad, man. It's bad. Oh my God, bro. Well, I'm gonna go HOD. Are you I know, bro. It was horrible, bro. Hey, I think that's what was keeping me and you engaged. Do you remember when we were watching it? We were laughing at what the announcers were saying because they were getting on Devin, bro. They got on Ryan too. But not like they were Devin. Oh, the one guy was like, I don't get it. He's like, why is Devin fighting? He said, why is Devin fighting, bro? Like, why is he there if he's not going to do nothing? Like, they were literally questioning his existence there. They were like, why is Devin on the card again? They were like, does he want to fight Ryan again? I don't think he wants to fight Ryan again. They started forming a conspiracy theory. They started saying he did that on purpose because he didn't want to fight Ryan. That's how bad. I don't believe that. I really do believe he wanted to fight Ryan again. I really do. I don't think it was. I mean, if he is, that's some top level scary right there. I don't want to fight Ryan, so let me just have a horrible last night, and this way maybe nobody will ask for it, but I'll do just enough. I mean, that is a good conspiracy, right? Think about it. I don't want to fight Ryan, so I'm gonna do just as much as I can, just minimal to win. Make sure I don't get hit. Make sure I don't get hurt. Yeah, I don't care what they think. I'm just going to throw just enough punches to win the rounds. And hopefully, they'll say my performance was so ass and trash, nobody will ask for the Ryan fight. And then, because I got my loss taken off, maybe after some time, people will forget that I even had that fight. Like, that's a crazy conspiracy right there. I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with bro scared. Bro scared to get hit, bro. It is what it is. Ryan Garcia then gave that man PTSD. That's what. Hey, send them to my thing, HOD, because you know what? I'm gonna go this week. I think I'm gonna go a couple times this week because there's some other things I want to talk about too. Because there was some content I was gonna get into today, but I ended up going live like really late. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I think. Hey. How often do you respond to your Twitter? I'll message you on Twitter or your ex. I still say Twitter. You sent me one? Let me see. Nah, for real? Let me see. Nah, bro. Okay, I'm glad you sent me this. Yo, before I play this is what I mean, bro. It ain't just people like me, bro. When you got people in your own, I always say this all the time. It goes a long way with me. I value a person, what we call them, your colleagues or the people in the same career as you. I value their opinion way more than I value somebody else. So if somebody goes, oh, I know Shadow, he a good worker. I mean, I've known him since he was a kid. He's an honest man, right? Okay. But if somebody that works there goes, yo, I've worked there for 5 years, bro. I've seen him every day. That goes a long way with me. They're y'all work together. Y'all in the same career. So when you got your own people coming at you, bro, it says a lot. Here, let me play this. It says a lot, bro. Like, ain't nobody hating on this kid. He just need a dose of the truth because the people that be D-rodding him ain't gonna say nothing.
Man, Devin Haney is trash. Devin Haney is broke now. Ryan Garcia done broke that boy. Ryan Garcia put him down, hurt him, and did all this beating on him. Now he don't even fight the same. He fought this Spanish guy, and he only threw 74 punches the whole fight, if that. Any hard shots he threw, it was probably a jab to the body. He only threw a couple of hooks, and his hooks wasn't hard. Were they clean? Okay, I give you that. But they wasn't even no effective punches. It wasn't like no shots that he fully committed to. It was scared shots. You can see in him that his heart ain't all the way there. Hopefully, it'll hold him over his next fight, because I don't know who the hell he got in front of him his next fight, but I just know him personally is trash. Washed up. I never thought he was good anyway. I just thought he was a good listener, and he tried to imitate Floyd to the best of his ability. But trash. Stop playing with me.
Now,
Man,
him and his brother. Of course, his brother don't he don't get along with his brother. But let's not forget, before he fought Ryan Garcia, Keyshawn Davis is on a live doing an interview, and they bring up Devin Haney and they bring up Ryan Garcia. And Keyshawn's exact words was, "Oh yeah, yo, Devin gonna shine. Devin too much for him. Devin too smart for him. Devin too skilled for him. Devin too fast for him. Ryan just got a left hook. You just get through the left hook, he good." And he even says something like, you know, that's just one punch you got to look out for. Like, and it's the same punch you got hit repeatedly over all night with. He said nothing but nice things. I'm going for him. Next video after that, he said, "You let Ryan do that to you, bro." And then when he came out positive, and Devin went on the very day that Ryan got, they said that he had something in his system. And the very day, it looked like he had something already set up. Like the moment they came out that Ryan had something, y'all remember? It's like he already had something set up with ESPN. Like it was already planned. It was so weird, bro, by the way. It was very weird. It's like it was breaking news on X. Because I remember I was hanging out and I got a text. And it was G Funky. He texts me like, "Yo, Shadow, did you hear?" I'm like, "What? Hear what?" He's like, "Yo, Ryan Garcia got popped." I'm like, "For real?" And I look on X and it said like 23 minutes ago, something. It was like just breaking. Like a lot of the channels didn't even have it yet. Bro, within hours, like Devin Haney will be on ESPN, blah, blah, blah. It was quick. They already announced it. It was just weird, bro. And he goes on ESPN and he says what he says. And he says, like, "Nah, I don't want to rematch a cheater." Right? That's what he said, and all this other stuff. And Keyshawn comes out. Keyshawn's like, "You're fucking pathetic, bro. You're pathetic. Like, you should want to whip his ass, bro. What are you, scared?" Like, everybody was saying that, bro. People that went for him were saying that. The only people that was making excuses for him, the only ones that was like, "Okay, I get it. Ryan cheated. He shouldn't have cheated. He should get in trouble. He should." But still, no accountability over here, right? Nah, he wasn't getting hit with the same punch all the time. Nah, he wasn't jabbing, dropping his hands. Nah, it's all Ryan, right? Just like this past weekend. Ryan did bad. Ryan lost. Ryan. Oh, Devin, he did what he had to do. Devin did what he had to do. He had a year off. Did good. It's hit and not get hit. You're lying to yourself, bro. You're lying to yourself. You sent me last one for tonight? Hold on, let me see, bro. Hold up. Is this from that night? This is, right? Shout out to HLD, man. He be quick with these shits, bro. This is from the fight, right? Yeah, we were looking at the fight. This is the shit we were hearing all night, by the way. We were hearing this all night. It's the only thing that kept me engaged. I ain't gonna lie. It's what kept me engaged. Was funny stuff like that.
A whole 30 seconds in front of the man ain't throw nothing. He's so worried about not getting hit. I think Devin still think Ryan in there.
Are we still watching the hangover from the Garcia nightmare a year ago?
I don't know what we're watching right now.
Still having nightmares from, the rocket left hooks that
put him on the canvas, counting the number of seconds it takes for a punch to be thrown. Maybe they're perfectly happy to let Haney do his footwork exhibition all night long and not throw punches. Maybe getting to the point of the fight now where he might need a baseball bat. We could buy him a bat or a tennis racket. If ever a fight was capable of inducing a snooze, this might be it.
I know nobody better not jump on the top rope.
That's bad, bro. That's bad. That's bad. And you know what's crazy too? The mother two, the I forget the white guys' names. They're real nice, bro. They never go at people like that. They never. They the first ones to be like, he got heart. We were hearing that all day. Like, we were laughing, bro. I gotta find the one where the guy said, you know, I'm kind of puzzled why Devin even showed up tonight. Somebody needs to tell him this is a fight, bro. It was bad. It was bad, bro. And that's why, like, I usually don't go at people, bro. But it's like, when you got the audacity to sit here and go at Tio, when that shit happened, stop, bro. Stop. You look stupid. You look real stupid. Tio beat the fuck out of Devin. Tio beat the fuck out of Devin. If anything I had ever questioned before, because there was at one point, I ain't gonna lie, there was one point where I was like, yo, Devin gives Tio problems, bro. There was. And I've even said it here. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Tio beat the fuck out of Devin. Devin will be doing that all night. If he ran against Jose Ramirez, what you think he gonna do with Tio? And Tio athletic? Come on, bro. I don't know who they're gonna pick for Devin's next opponent, but if you couldn't shine against a person who's literally, his style is to come forward, no defense hardly, over the hill, former champion, was willing to meet you at 144, not even 147. Everything just handed to you on a silver platter, bro. Stylistically, everything handed to you, and you ran. I don't know who else you're going to fight, bro. Who you going to fight? Who? I don't even know if you could beat Barrios. Being serious. Like, somebody take out Barrios, bro. Connor Ben or somebody, like, he's just there for the taking. Yeah, I know he came back with a couple of good fights, but he's the weakest champion at 147, bro. And look, you think Tio would be going after him. No, Tio wants boots. You see the difference there? You see the difference? Y'all can talk shit about Tio all you want, but when Tio on his A game, bro, he up there with the best of them. It's all mental with Tio. And the goofy shit he does outside the ring. But in the ring, it's totally different. It's night and day. Like, it's so bad the announcers were getting on Devin, bro. Antonio Tarver likes Devin. He likes the kid. And Antonio Tarver said he better not jump on that top rope. Hey, yo, real quick, though, you know what also was funny? When Ryan had his bad performance, I don't know what made them do this, bro. I know y'all saw this. What in the world made Devin and Bill Haney come out and sit down and try to laugh at Ryan? Y'all saw that? I'm like, what are you laughing at? Like, I'm surprised you guys are there. Devin didn't even do an interview when he left. They spun that around too. Man, he won clearly. Nothing to talk about. Why not? Wait. Why don't you want to talk? Why don't you want to talk? Why is there no interview? Why? Is it because there's nothing to talk about? Literally. Yeah. Literally nothing to talk about in the whole fight. Literally. That's not even a joke. There's nothing to talk about. That's why there's no interview. What are they going to ask you? You know, the normal questions. You remember back in round 7? We don't remember nothing. We just remember Tio fighting a little while ago, and the Japanese kid that what we just saw right now was two guys jogging. And a little bit of there, here and there. Oh, Jim Lampley. My bad, bro. Jim Lampley, bro. Hall of Famer, bro. You know what it is? I forget his name because Jim Lampley goes all the way. Yo, they even brought up Larry Merchant. That's funny you say that. Jim Lampley brought up Larry Merchant. You know what he said when Devin was fighting? He said, good thing Larry Merchant's not here. Because you remember Larry Merchant used to get on Floyd, especially the Floyd that fought, was it the one that fought Oscar? You remember? And then like when he changed this style a little bit and Larry Merchant would get on him. And then the one time Floyd blew up at him and said, man, you don't never respect me. And the old man was like, man, I'll kick your ass, right? You remember that? That was so hilarious. But he hated it because he felt like Floyd wasn't fighting when he could have been fighting. And that's Floyd. I disagree with Larry. I do. I think what Floyd was doing, he was fighting. He was just frustrating people because he was so good. He was able to make you miss, and he'd do a pull counter. I love that shit with Floyd, by the way. When you throw like a jab and he'd move out the way and come back over with a pull counter and he'd hit you, you didn't even hit him. Sometimes they don't even realize they just got clipped with a pull counter. Like he was fighting though. He was tagging you up. May not have been the most hardest shots, but he was tagging you up. Y'all don't know if you saw T.O. was doing pull counters all night on Barbosa. But man, I mean, he said, lucky Larry Merchant ain't here. I mean, look, man, I wish Devin the best, but let's be completely honest here. Who's he gonna fight? Before I go, I'm gonna look at the rankings. Where do you go from here? If you stay at 140, right? If you stay at 140, you got Richardson Hitchens, right? Like you got people you don't want to fight. Let's be honest. Look at this. You got people that you don't want to fight, bro. So there is no 144. Like that was a catch weight, my guy. It's either 140 or 147, or you can go to 154. You don't want to do that. Nah, you don't want to go to 154, bro. That'll be nah. I would feel bad for Devin if he fought at 154. Like that's bad. Just stay away from there. That's yeah, you're not allowed in there. That's big boy stuff. So let's go over to let me see. Right here. All right. Oh my God. Oh, yo, look, Gary Antoine, the one that was just talking about him. How about him? How about Richardson Hitchens? Bad idea. Gary Antoine Russell, bad idea. Puello, that's a bad idea. Puello's big. He's catchy. He's tricky. He beat Antoine Russell. That's a bad idea. Teofimo Lopez, I dare you. I dare you. I dare you to grab your nuts and fight T.O. So let's move up. 147. Jerron and his boots. Barrios and Brian Norman Jr., your best bet is WBC Barrios, and I'm not even sure you make it out of there, bro. I'm not even sure you make it out of there. He's got to go somewhere, HLD. He's got to go somewhere. And this is what I mean. It's all bad. It's all bad, bro. I don't even think he could beat Mario. Not that, Devin. Bro, before anyone says, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking. Bro, the man may know he ran. You understand? He ran. Okay. He can't do that against one of these champions, bro. Whatever he did against, he can't do that with these guys, bro. So if you're not going to fight at 147, what are you going to do? Move back down to 140? That's bad for you, bro. Richardson Hitchens, he'll beat you. Antoine Russell, he's probably licking his chops wanting to fight you. He just made a nice little video about you. Puello, well, he beat Antoine Russell. He's big. He's got reach. He's very tricky. He's very counterpunchery. He sets traps. He's just all bad for you. Teofimo Lopez, yeah, you know better. So it's like, what? You're gonna go back up here? Bro, listen, man. That boy better make up his mind, man. I do wish him the best, though. Haney Kambosos 3. Bet. There you go. Safest bet. Kambosos at 140, right? HOD should be your manager, bro. That should be a sure win for you. Kambosos. I'm being dead ass, bro. Y'all think I'm playing. I know you think like, oh, he's picking on. I'm not picking on. I'm being dead ass for real. You just saw what the announcers were saying, right? We're counting the seconds to see when a punch is thrown. Like, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. Tim Bradley said you got no nuts. Antoine Russell said you got no nuts. Antonio Tarver says you got no nuts. Haney versus the electrician. I mean, I'll tell you one thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see Shakur and Haney. Please don't. Please, bro. I don't even want to see Haney and Hitchens, to be honest with you. That's boring too. Like, some styles make fights, bro. Like Richardson Hitchens versus Devin. Does that sound exciting to you? No. It's going to be who gets their jab off first, it's just not exciting. It'd be different if they fought like Floyd. Like Antoine Russell said, you try to be Floyd, but you can't fight like him. So it's like, what are you going to do? And now you got PTSD from Ryan. So, and Ryan, here goes the thing with Ryan. Ryan can still bounce back because people watch Ryan. That's the difference, though. Ryan could not fight right now. Ryan could stop and do TikTok. He could, be honest, Devin got enough money. Devin don't got to fight no more, bro. Let's keep it a buck there. Like, the people that are around Devin, the best thing for them to do is to be like, yo, look, let's be completely honest here. Are you going to be like that for the rest of your career? If so, look, ain't no problem with hanging it up. You can even lie in his mind and tell him, hey, you got your loss taken away. So if you hang it up, you'll retire undefeated. Go ahead, lie to him. Do something. There's a lot of your meat riders out there that'll tell you you're the face of boxing. You can hang it up right now, right off to the sunset, Devin. You undefeated still, right? They don't remember what happened with Ryan. They'll forget after a while. They will. That's the best thing for you. You staying at 140, you're going to lose. Best bet, champion-wise, Barrios. Best bet. And before May 2nd, I would have said Devin all the way with Barrios. Now, I'm not sure. Stylistically, you should be able to walk all over Barrios. And I'm giving him credit. This is where me and HOD differ. Because HOD is basically like, you're trash, you're nothing. No, I'm actually giving, I'm like, bro, nah, he's athletic. He's got a good jab. I'm trying to do my best here, but ain't really nothing much I can do when you don't literally want to fight and you literally are scared to get hit. And it makes it even worse because the people that D-ride for you are never going to say nothing to you. So you're living in an illusion. So much to the point that Bill Haney and Devin came out after that badass performance and literally sat there and tried to laugh at Ryan like, come on, man. Most people were like, bro, get your ass inside. Like, you shouldn't even be there right now, really. I know they are so happy Ryan lost because we knew what was going to happen, right? Of course, rightfully so, right? Ryan talked a lot of shit. Ryan cheated, right? Whatever it is, whatever you may think. And Ryan's getting the brunt of it, right? But the reason why I'm so hard on Devin, right? I got no problem going at Ryan. It's because all I've seen this week is motherfuckers go at Ryan and just totally disregard Devin. And these same people actually went at Tio and said Barboza was going to beat Tio. And then Tio does what he does. And now they're saying Barboza was never that good. Barboza got no power. Barboza this. For 2 years, you said he was running from the man. Why is it so hard for y'all to keep it real? That's what I don't understand. But you know what? Like, this is what makes YouTube. None of these dudes are going to change, bro. I don't want people to change, but damn it, bro. I'm going to say what I'm going to say because, like, I don't care. Here's what it is. It's like I did with Nestor Gibbs, bro. I'm going to speak up. You don't like it, you don't like it. I'll probably go live tomorrow, man. Yo, HOD, bro. Hit me up on X, all right? Y'all have a blessed morning.